Okay, when you factor trinomials in the form of x squared plus bx plus c, you do the reverse FOIL method. So you would first make two parentheses and try to find which values go in which slots to have the original value here. So because there is no coefficient in front of x, we can assume that from both of the beginnings you have x. So let's try working with an example problem. Say you're given the equation x squared minus 5x minus 14. So in order to do this equation, you would, like I said, put the two parentheses, have an x in the first slots, because when you have x squared with no coefficients, you can just leave it like this. And you look for and you would work on this term to try to find two numbers where when you multiply them you get this number. So over here on the side, let's find all the combinations of two numbers that will multiply together to get 14. So you would have 1 and 14, or 2 and 7. Now there are no other numbers, whole numbers, that will multiply together to give you 14, so let's work with what we have here. So say you fill in the value 1 and 14 here, just pretend like there's a 1 and 14 here. If you did the rest of the FOIL problem and you had you have the 14 be negative because you need the overall addition to be negative. So it'd be negative 14 and plus 1, because this number has to be negative 2. So you'd have negative 14 plus negative 14x plus 1x, which is 13x, and 13x is not equal to negative 5x. So that doesn't work. So let's try our next number, which is negative 7 and positive 2. So when you finish the FOIL problem, you have x squared minus 7x plus 2x minus 14. And when you simplify this, you have x squared minus 5x minus 14. So this equation works. So you know that this is right, x plus 2 and x minus 7. So basically when you factor trinomials of this form, it's a lot of it has to do with mental math and guessing and checking to see if the values add up to the polynomial that you're originally given. Let's do another problem together. So say you have 2x squared y plus 16xy plus 30y. Now when you're given this problem, or when you factor any polynomial, you should always take out the greatest common factor. And from here you can see that you can take out a 2y from each term. So let's go ahead and do that. So when you take out 2y, you have x squared plus 8x plus 15. Now you can factor this further, so let's see, we'll make two parentheses, and let's find, here we'll fill in the values that we know already, and let's find two numbers that when you add them together, or when you multiply them together, they multiply to 15, and when you add them together, they add up to 8x. So we have 1 and 15, or 3 and 5, and no other numbers fit this criteria. So we already know that 1 and 15 don't work, because when you add everything together, you will have 15x plus 1x, which is 16x, and 16x does not equal to 8x. So let's put in the numbers 3 and 5. So we have x plus 3 and x plus 5. So you have, to double check, you would say this is x squared plus 5x plus 3x, which is 8x, plus 15. So this works. So this is a fully factored form of this polynomial. Now when you factor polynomials, always remember, like we did in this problem, that you have to take the greatest common factor out first.